I like it. It's a good place, America. I only want to preface that by saying I need to ask if anyone has served in the military in this room. Anybody? Okay, you're cool because you've been enjoying the show. This is one of those jokes that, like, law of averages, somebody's going to kick my ass for one of these days. Strap in. I need to confess that I've done a terrible thing. Do you know what a Jody is?
Yes.
Okay, so we're on, alright. It's a special term for a guy who did what I did.
You should go up.
A girl's boyfriend was serving abroad in Irakistan. And while he was gone, she cheated on him with me. Yeah, that's not cool. I've got regrets. I'm not going to high-five you for that one. But if I wanted to be a terrorist, I'd put that on the resume. In this economy, you got to keep your options open, people. Well, Mr. Kolas, that's my terrorist voice. What previous experience do you have destroying America? Well, a girl cheated on her soldier boyfriend with me when he was abroad. Wow! Quite the dick move. Welcome aboard. Yeah, it's tricky. I mean, the thing with stuff like that, and I'm still alive, thank you, good. I'm still here. One of these days I'm going to roll snake eyes, and you're going to read about me in the paper. I was beaten to death for America. Well, like, the thing with terrorism and stuff like that, like, here's the thing. I was in Mexico, having a good old Mexican time. We were at the gate, we were going to go down the tube to the flying machine. We're on our way home, right, looking for the plane. And they stopped one of the passengers for a random bag search. Mexican guard, guy who lived there, right, just opening the bag, looking through the clothes, being very nice about it, not dicking around, just moving clothes, keeping it folded, looking around, random bag search. And the woman says, is everything okay? Is there a problem? He says, no, you just have a bomb in your bag. What? I'm kidding, you're fine, you can go. Laughed my balls off. Funniest thing I've ever seen. You can't do that here. You can't just put a bomb in an airport. You can't even say there's not enough room in my bag, because room kind of sounds like boom, and then they tackle you, and your life's over. This hombre, huevos grandes, muy macho. I want that dude up here. I'll push him over the fence. I'll buy his green card. Here's the deal, folks. If you tell a joke about a bomb in an airport, and tell them Phil Kolas, world-famous comedian, put you up to it, get my name in the paper, help us both out, I will buy you a shot, pay your bail, and write you in for my vote as president at the next election. Because that's the kind of hilarious courage I want to lead us into the future. Your son's a terrorist, JK, lol, LOL. The thing with that, though, is that my dad, Nick Kolas, he told me a story about this Muslim dude he knew when he was in college. And this Muslim dude ate pork all the time. And I don't know if you know, that's like one of the rules in Islam. You just can't do that. But this dude had like bacon wrapped pork chops with a ham sandwich to wash it down. Like all the time, right? And my dad's like, Muhammad, how do you get away with that? Doesn't that anger Allah? He says, Nick, I talk like this. Whenever I order a ham, it comes to my table. I close my eyes, I say, Allah, make this pork chicken. And he does. That made me so happy. There are Muslim dudes out there with a sense of humor, you guys. They're real. Better than unicorns. And that's important to me. Like, I was born in southern Minnesota. And it was fine, no complaints, but it was white people hanging out being white. Like, now I live in the cities, and there's, like, Muslims and Somalians and Mexican, and, like, everybody, the rainbow of the world, right? I'm getting to know the human race. Plus, Mexican chicks, smoking hot. Like, that helps, too. Nothing defeats intolerance like a diversity vote. Other than my neighbors, not so much a fan of the variety buffet, right? Because like I'm in this Mexican neighborhood, it's where I live, it's a good time. But there's this abandoned building, and they had a billboard on it. It's like, hey, what do you want this abandoned building to be? Go to this website, vote for something, make a suggestion. It's a pretty cool idea. Somebody had spray painted in big black paint. How about something American? I was like, fucking dude, really? Like it was spray paint, right? There was no sound. It didn't have an accent. It didn't sound like that. But you know it sounded like that. Amurikan. And I thought about it, I was like, if someone is that racist, They're like putting on a ski mask and penciling in arts and crafts projects under the cover of nightfall to spread the message. Their life just has to suck. That's racism 101. Their life is awful, they're looking for somebody to blame. Like, anytime I hear about somebody complain about the Jews control the media, I'm like, oh, schnookums. Do you need a blanket, some hot soup? How about a back rub? Tell me all about it. It's nobody's dream. That's nobody's plan to grow up and hate everybody. Nobody wants to do that. It's like, hey, Timmy, what do you want to be when you grow up? A fireman or an astronaut? I want to burn down black churches. No, it doesn't happen. These poor, pathetic creatures, they need your help. Give them something to live for. Help them turn it around, right? That's in the Bible, I think. Somewhere in between bros before hoes and never trust the cops. But it's in there. And the thing with racism, though, is that I have discovered the one race of people it's totally okay for everyone to hate. You can sign up for this, nobody's going to think you're a bad person. Sitting with my roommate in the front porch, looking out the window, whatever. And he looks out and he goes, oh, those fucking people in our neighborhood. Jesus Christ, dude. Like, there's two of them rolling by on a pair of bikes, and he's just 1,000-yard stare looking them down. They don't even know he's watching them. He's just muttering to himself, too. He's like, you know who it was? Mormons. Pair of Mormons rolling down the streets, the sons of bitches with the helmets and the ties and the bikes and the bikes and the ties and the helmets. They're the only group of people no one would hold it against you if you locked the door, closed the curtains, and called your friends. And he's still here. And they're gone. Goddamn. It's something I worry about a lot because both of my parents are racist.
I'm Mormon.
Well, you're the coolest goddamn Mormon I've ever met, sir. President. El Presidente. Mittens and gloves. Your gloves now. You are awesome. He took the mantle. You guys are make thousands of babies. We need more people like you too. But like both my parents are racist, but in the two different kinds of racism. My dad, I've already introduced you to. He's from Greece. He's from old country, right? Like, I'm trying to think of this story. I'm trying to think of how to tell this joke without sounding like a pedophile. Like I said, my dad's from Greece, which means if there's a Greek girl around my age, he'll do that dad thing. He'll just shove me next to her and want a grandchild to form in the empty space between us. It doesn't even matter if she doesn't speak English. Like, that's happened before. Like, my dick's gonna cross the language barrier. It doesn't matter. And he's showing me this Greek girl he wants to introduce me to, and she's just gorgeous. Like, Greek hot, right? Like, Trojan War, dead bodies in the wake, like, dangerously sexy. And I'm asking him about her, I'm like, well, how old is she? He says, 17 or 18. That is not multiple choice, motherfucker. That's a very important line to be on the right side of it. Like, technically speaking, that might only be the difference of 24 hours with some cake and candles in the middle there, right? But I do not want to have to introduce myself to my neighbors for the rest of my life. She is not worth it. So that's my dad. And he's owned this chain of liquor stores for like 40 years. And I was working there one day for the last time. Dun, dun, dun. There's a story here. And this black couple walks in. Imagine liquor store customer. Can you imagine everything these people were not? Fine, upstanding members of society. Looked like they bathed that day. Not a black guy between them. Not our usual clientele at a liquor store. Happened to be black. My dad says out loud, like from here to the front door. Out loud. Not even a whisper. Phil, watch those black people. Make sure they don't steal anything. How did he get away with that without getting sued? Here's the secret. My dad taught me Greek, and he said that in Greek, so he thinks we're like secret agent races together with Dakota rings and trench coats. Oh boy, do we get code names? Told him to go fuck himself. No, I don't work there anymore. I am, yeah. You want me to say it? Vlepozo Mavros, or Kleptos. Yeah, it's real. Well, like I said, 40 years, family business, right? It's been robbed like a dozen times in 4 decades. It happens. 3 or 4 times by black guys. I'm not excusing it, that's not cool. But you can see what's going on, right? You follow the lines of logic. If you get beaten up 3 or 4 times by guys wearing red shoes, you stop hanging out with guys wearing red shoes. Or stop being drunk at the circus. Either way, you can see the dirty seed that made that ugly little plant. I told you I fucking hate clowns. They're terrible people. Racist too.